So, sharing now, we have a YouTube video for, oh gosh, where did it go? I may have lost my place. I should find it. Here we go. So Sean Session Hashmat Pur talks about overcoming, over caring about others' opinions. We feel weighed down. What's a sign that you care too much about others' opinions? Is you feel weighed down, submissive, over-explaining, under-retracting, trying not to take up space, not speaking your truth, holding back on contentment, holding back on your content creation, holding back on the wanting to create, the desire, easily persuaded by people who have bad intentions, getting taken advantage of, and getting triggered or taking things personally. The inversion principle, number 1. What others do or say is a reflection of them, not me. It's based on their perception. It has nothing to do with me. The mirror principle. The way I perceive others is a mirror of my perception of myself. If someone tells me my blank, whatever it is, sucks, and like someone insulted my food tonight, telling me they hope it doesn't make me sick because I said it was really mushy because I reheated it, but also from the beginning it was soft, let's say I feel offended, I was already questioning the quality of X. It's just a mirror of my insecurity. 3, knowing our values and our standards that we live by. If not, we should write about it, learn about it, because it's the how of living. People who don't live by the standards that I do may be offended or try to talk me out of it, but I don't have to make my life smaller for them. 4, compassion. Putting myself out there does open the risk to be attacked by an insecure person, which is a part of life, and it's possible to have compassion for them, even smile at them or love them. Then we have realistic expectations. Not expecting perfection from anyone, not expecting people to support me the way that I support them, can only expect humans to behave like humans, and sometimes that means someone can shit the carpet at any moment. We are all human. That's the phrase he uses, S-H-I-T. 6, don't explain myself to hostile people. You can tell by someone's tonality if they want to discuss or they want to fight. I don't owe, and you don't owe, we don't owe anyone an explanation. If the conversation drains energy, focus on what brings joy. 7, a selection of people's opinions I do care about is worth having. So selecting friends and peers, people I look up to, mentors, to care what they think and receive their wisdom constructively, and they can show me my blind spots from a place of love. Not from insecurity, but a place of like so secure that I want to grow and become more of myself and not be held back or blocked. Practicing 8, practicing conviction. Feeling our truth, feeling the truth, and practicing seeing it play out into existence in my physical reality. Like getting attacked, usually like quote unquote attacked, usually points to where I lack a full conviction in a belief, idea, value, or truth. 9, kindness as a response to hatred. It's not worth, one second. It's not worth fighting hate with hate because it drains energy and it's unhealthy for myself and the world. Anger could create disease in the body. The thing about haters, they are insecure and they need the love more than I do, more than the non-hater does. 10, I'm perfect the way I am, in and by God. My nature, I'm created in my own strengths and weaknesses as I'm supposed to be, and I don't need to try to be anyone else. I want to share also from Sean Session Hashmat Pur a deeper layer, which is low self-worth indicators. So this is like a protection mechanism. First of all, 1, you don't say what you really want to say. 2, you don't go after the life you want. 3, you might apologize for no reason. 4, you feel icky for wanting something. 5, getting defensive quickly. 6, don't take care of health. 7, try to change others. 8, think everything will be perfect, quote unquote, when I get there. 9, submissive and feel bad when I think someone or people are mad at me. 10, get triggered by people with different beliefs. 11, dismiss feelings. 12, judge others. 13, get upset when I don't get the validation in the way that I want them to give it to me. So fear of rejection is pointed out. It's when we bring ourselves to a place, when we have a fear of rejection, we can bring ourselves to that place of already, I'm already worthy, whole, I'm already complete, I'm already perfect. Being out of alignment with our most peaceful, loving, and confident self is because I might be believing I'm not good enough. God did not make me less than others. We can change that narrative where we uninternalize the beliefs from society that make us feel inferior, insufficient, or deficient, we create new beliefs. For example, my presence is amazing, and remind ourselves of it each day. And I want to share some more wisdom about, lifestyle wisdom. This is, I found on the internet during my research, mostly on Instagram. So 9 to 5 is someone else's passive income. You could find new ways to make money and create an income stream. 2, masturbation and porn are the greatest killers of success for men. It stunts and destroys the brain. 3, no one's coming to save me, or you. 4, don't take advice from people who are not where you want to be in your life. 5, work with people who are smarter. Don't compete against them. 6, weed has zero benefit. It slows thinking and lowers focus. 7, comfort is the greatest addiction, a cheap ticket to depression. 8, don't tell people more than they need to know. Respect my own privacy. 9, avoid alcohol and anything that's worse than, there's nothing worse than acting a fool or losing your senses, my senses, or one's senses. 10, keeping the standards high. We don't settle for something just because it's available. 11, the family we create is greater than the family we come from. And 12, avoid 99% of mental problems by training ourselves not to take anything personally. And that's why I got into this talk about taking things personally, right? Or caring too much about what others think. And there's an idea here that only 1% of people actually finish what they start. And it's mixed. Well, sometimes you should not finish what you started. You might have started something that was a bad idea or not productive. It was a big mistake. Definitely don't continue just because you started. But there's a lot of times where we may not be able to continue, or we lose the momentum, or we lack the activation energy to keep getting started on a continual project. And sharing now from where are we up to? Oh, in interplay with Sheila Collins and Christine Gautreaux. They run a workshop group that that I used to go to, that met every Tuesday morning, shortly before, like around 11:30, and it was based on Sheila Collins' book called Still Point. But we used the interplay formats, and we used to explore things and learn a lot about ourselves and tap into our layers. So first of all, we'll explore balance. Sensitivity means already being caring to others. So becoming sensitive and caring for myself helps the balance. If someone's a sensitive person, they're already sensing the needs of people around them. Open-handed versus closed-fisted. There's this idea of consciously slowing down, sharing less, gathering more. There's this polarity play, like open the hand, close the fist. Open the hand. Sometimes you're opening the hand to give. Sometimes you're opening the hand to get. Sometimes you're closing the fist to keep. Sometimes you close the fist in order to give more to the other person. You say, that's enough for me, right? Releasing unnecessary tension and bracings. That's a way to find balance. If you find that, let's say you're pulling on the right side, it's because you're holding very tight in the ribs, or not doing too much in the wrong area. Not doing too much and not doing something in the wrong area, because that would be like getting you off balance, because you have to do extra. Sometimes when I don't have a set person to help or to serve, I can be more playful or twinkly with serving and helping and navigating how I go about it. In other words, if I have to get in the routine of always being kind of connected, serving, helping one person, it could get sort of stagnant, versus when it's always like new dynamics necessary, this, that, and the other. Making time and space with beginning and end for spontaneous activities could be things like music, art, cooking, where you kind of lose track of time, but you created a beginning and an end so that there's like a absence of time within a scheduled amount of time. When someone is trustworthy, it might feel like it's easier to share the self, and it's like an offering to be enjoyed by both people. So finding balance, that sharing is not only for the other person to benefit, it's not only for us, it's an enjoyment together. And finally, I want to talk, it's a little bit off the topic, but we have here Rambam, Maimonides, from Sefer HaMitzvos, which is the book of mitzvos. In 176 mitzvahs, it's to appoint judges to implement the Torah's commands, to force those who turn away from the path of truth to return to it, to command the performance of good and the avoidance of bad, to carry out the punishments for those transgressors, so that the positive commandments of the Torah Their prohibition shouldn't be dependent on the desire of every individual. Think, in other words, that people shouldn't be able to decide when and if. There should be judges, arbitrary, just judges. So a few things I wanted to learn about the judges. So sifrei, with appointing a judge, it can't just be because he or she is attractive, strong, a relative, lent me money, knows all the languages, because then he or she will end up acquitting the guilty, convicting the innocent. That's the opposite of judging, of true justice. You make the innocent guilty and you make the guilty innocent. In Devarim 117, Deuteronomy, it says, do not give anyone special considerations regarding judgment. And the great Sanhedrin, which was 70 members in Jerusalem, with a nasi, like a Rosh Yeshiva, like the prince, the head of the sitting body. Then there was a small one, 23. It was in a city with at least 120. There's a small Sanhedrin, and then there's a court of 3, and all other appointments only take place in Israel. But when ordination is in effect in Israel, those who are already ordained were allowed to judge both in Israel or out of Israel. Regarding capital punishment, cases may not be judged unless the Holy Temple is standing. This is whether people can be put to death for certain transgressions. And the cities of refuge for accidental murder are only in Israel. What's interesting is that some of them are outside of what the borders are that people think of Israel now. So that means that actually the cities of refuge of proper Israel is a little bit bigger than what we are currently believing, because if the cities of refuge are all inside of Israel for accidental murder, that means that the cities of refuge, which seem to be outside the Israel borders, are really inside Israel borders, which means Israel is larger than we think. So that's all for today, and all the best to you. Good night.